right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
Yes, I still throw my arms up and say it. Whatever. Don't laugh. So, damn, it's crazy weather since last week, man. So much water coming out. Like, it's not as much as, like, people on the other side of the hill. Like, anything from, I guess, like, San Bernardino up, right, is being pummeled with water. And then Central Valley and up is getting pummeled with water.
Well, we got it pretty good on New Year's.
Yeah.
It came down pretty good.
Yeah.
Because we, us gentlemen, relieve ourselves in the backyard of Luis's house. If you know what I mean. After drinking.
Right.
And I had to go out there a couple of times. And it was coming down pretty hard.
Looked like you were aiming upwards instead of the ground.
To wash my hands, I just stuck my hands out and just let the water hit it.
Right. You know, we do that backwards, dude. So, like, I've always thought about this. We do it backwards. So we get up in the morning, we take a shower, we get dressed, and then we leave, right? Go do our thing, grab something to drink throughout the day, and then we got to go to the bathroom, and we got to go pee, right?
Right.
So what do? We unzip, we grab our shit, we pee, we put it back in, and then we go wash our hands.
Okay.
Shouldn't we wash our hands before we grab it? Because we've been touching all kinds of nasty shit before we, you know what I mean?
That's true. Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You take a shower to get clean.
Correct.
Are you clean when you got out of the shower?
Yeah.
So how does your towel get dirty?
Well, because of the moisture, I'm assuming, right?
I don't know.
Okay, how long do you use a towel? Are you a once and done?
No.
Do you use it for a week? We're friends. You can just be honest.
Well, definitely, my old lady washes once a week.
Okay.
Including the towels. But it's one of those things that in our bathroom, there's a stand that has like little shelves on the bottom, and then where you throw the towel over.
Okay.
So the ones we throw over are the ones we use. So I don't know if like in the middle of the week she'll take those and then just, refill it from the bottom up.
Okay.
And then once a week wash. So it's definitely once a week.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's anything in between.
Does your wife, how many towels does your wife use? 2, 3?
2.
One for her hair.
Yeah. And then one for the body.
Okay. Do you use a loofah or a washcloth? Or just soap on the hands?
I've just started using loofah about a year or two. Oh.
And what did you do before?
Just soap on my hands.
Just soap on hands? Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to ask you another question. Do you wash your legs, or do you it's getting clean from the soap that's coming down your body? Be honest, fucker.
50% of the time I wash my legs.
I'm the same way, don't you? I'm the same way. Do you shave in the shower or out?
If I'm doing a full shave, I'll shave in the shower.
In the shower? Okay. Okay. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. So...
And back to the loofah. A loofah's pretty sporty.
Yeah.
I have to admit.
Dude, I just bought this thing. So... I've always used like the back brush to wash to wash my back. You don't wash your back, do you?
No. If we take a shower together, she washes my back.
How often do you shower together? So you don't wash your back. So fuck. If you got to think about it, it's you don't wash your back. So and you probably got to use shampoo for your back anyways, right? So I bought this thing, dude, so that I wouldn't have to buy another brush, and it's got 2 handles on it, right? And it's probably about 4 inches, and 4 inches wide, and you pour soap on it, like from one side to the other, throw it on your back, and down the other angle. That way you get your whole back. It's really kind of nifty.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, it feels real good.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I get in and the hot water hits like certain spots on my back, and I'm like, oh my God, that fucking feels phenomenal. So I needed to get something that was easier to do than the brush. So I figured, fuck it, I'll try that. So
Yeah, because when my old lady hits me with the loofah on the back, that feels good.
yeah, that's nice, right? When you get out to dry, do you start with your hair or your body? Well, you don't have much hair.
Top down.
Top down?
Yeah. But I'll be honest with you. I feel that I hit close to every inch of my body with the towel. But yet my old lady always says, like, I'm still wet. Like when I jump into bed after I take a shower, if I take one before I go to bed,
right?
She's like, you're still wet. And I'm like, I did everything. Like you just said with your back, that little nifty, that's what I do with the towel. And I do it a few times because I'm like scratching my back at the same time with it.
Yes, but do you do, like, the problem is that your back isn't straight, so you have like that little indentation in the middle of your back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And even when you get to like your lower back, because there's different indentations, so that might be where you're still wet at.
Maybe, but I do, like I said, when I'm doing it, I'm scratching my back with it, so I'm hitting angles.
Right? Just fucking yeah. All right. It's like, what the hell are you doing in there? Scratching my back.
Hey, you know how you just said that I don't have like a lot of hair on my head?
Yeah.
I still use the same amount of shampoo as if I had a full head of hair and conditioner.
Fuck.
I don't even know why.
You hoping for it to come back? Like you wake up one day and be like, pow! Yeah, I knew it would. I gotta tell you, so the guy that used to work on the show with us, his name was Manny. And so Manny's kind of a hypochondriac. Okay, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you, there's somebody that if they hear an illness, all of a sudden they have it, right? So it was right when COVID was hitting, right? And so he decided he had gotten COVID, and he had brain fog really bad. So like he couldn't remember shit. Like you'd tell him something, and he'd just look at you like with a blank fucking face. And then so one day he comes in and he tells me, "Dude, I'm losing my hair. Yeah, I turned 40 and I'm losing my hair." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I take a shower and there's a whole bunch of hair on the in the tub." Like, really? He said, "Yeah." Come to find out, there's something called, I guess, COVID hair is what they're calling it, and you lose your hair due to COVID. Alyssa Milano had it. Like, she was going, like, it was bad, dude. Like, her hair was really thin and shit. And apparently, there's a lot of people that have it, that they start to lose their hair. Well, the other day, I noticed how far back my fucking, I don't know, what are these called? Like the horns? Is that what it was? The horn section, I guess? Huh?
Well, your temple, so yeah.
Yeah, so right above your temple, right there at the top where your hairline would start to normally recede if you had that going on. So mine just like started going way back really fast, dude. And then now my hair is long, and I can see how much fucking hair I'm losing. Like in the shower, like I'll get out of the shower and I look down, and there's hair in the drain. And then I go and I'll you got to brush your hair out, right? So what I did is I bought this shit called it's some sort of no tangle conditioner. Like before, I'd get out, I'd dry my hair, and then I'd go comb it, and it snags right away, right? So I have this. You spray it in there. It was fucking $32 for a bottle that big, bro. You squirt it in there, and then you could run a brush right through it like nothing. Hair goes right back. We're like, God damn.
Dude,
beautiful.
who are you kidding? You ain't got that much hair to be causing that much of a problem. That you need a $32 product.
Hey, my hair look good though. and look, but what my point was is if you look at my hair right now, it's starting to like you can see like the little hairs wanting to come back, like there's stragglers on top. So hopefully that means that I'm gonna get some of my fucking hair back because I went from thick, luscious, fucking head of man hair to
yeah. So did I.
Fuck you, Tony.
Let me ask you this: now that it's getting longer, can you actually see your actual scalp, like if it's on a sunny day?
I could when I was
okay. That's a yes.
Before it was long. Now that it's long because I comb it down, no. because it's so close to the scalp now. No.
Okay.
But before, when it was short, remember how I had it before? Like, it would just,
Uh-huh.
I could see it, and I used to bother the shit out of me. It's like, holy shit, dude. Because my dad, fucking 74 or 5 when he passed away, dude, he still had almost a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Like, it had thinned out quite a bit, but I mean, he was rocking until he was 70 and doing the same hairstyle every day.
And the funny thing is, when I first noticed it, like in my mid 30s,
Oh shit.
when it was getting like thin, I was driving and the sun was facing me, and I looked in my side mirror, for traffic, and I looked at myself, and I could see my head through my hair
Oh,
because it was
shit.
so sunny. And I was like, damn.
Did you like swerve? Oh,
No, but now I see pictures like in my early 30s, late 20s, and I can actually see, like, oh my God, it started back then. Like, my niece just sent us a picture. It was me, my nephew, my brother, and my Uncle Domingo in New York. It was his wedding. And, here, look at that picture. Look at my son, how young he is.
oh wow.
But if you look at my forehead, you see that little spot right there?
Yeah. That was already starting to peel back.
Yeah. I'm like, damn. And I didn't catch it back then.
Oh wow. Damn. Well, what's funny is, with my sister moving, we're all trying to help her move and get the rest of my mom and dad's stuff out of her house, and kind of going through separating everybody's pictures and doing all that kind of stuff. Well, my mom had this picture of me on my wedding day when I married the boys' mom, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm in a suit and had glasses on, and man, my fucking hair looked good that day, bro. And it was a full fucking head of hair. It's just been over like the last maybe 2-3 years, really, where it started to really, like, I could see it starting to move back. Maybe 5 years, I really started to see it move back. And I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm supposed to have a full head of hair. But apparently it goes off of your mother's father.
My grandfather has a full head of hair.
On your mom's side?
Yeah. Dude, he's 99, kid.
And still has a full head of hair?
Full head of hair.
What about his dad?
Oh, I don't know. I think you're going too far back now. But, I mean, he's chilling. He still has a grasp on reality.
Really?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Isn't that cool when old people that you could sit down and they could clearly talk to you about shit from way back?
And the funny thing is him and my nephew, they have a special relationship where they joke around with each other.
Okay.
Like as if they were in high school type shit.
That's cool.
In regards to girls and stuff like that.
Right.
So, like, my nephew, when they'll first see each other, my nephew would, like, give him his fingers to sniff type deal, But he, like I say, he's still, like,
Still
like
got
a
all
kid,
of his, still
yeah.
got all of his faculties and shit. Wow. Man, I hope I make it that long and have that kind of, you know what I mean? Be able to know everything that's going on and
I've been
like,
forgetting a lot lately.
really?
Yeah. And
Does it worry you?
my old lady mentioned it, and she just mentioned it the other day, because actually Saturday I was putting Christmas away.
Okay.
And she was working, so I was home all day by myself, and I cut myself pretty good on my thumb.
Oh, shit.
And it was bleeding pretty good. And it's one of those that hurts. It hurts.
Right.
So when she got home, she noticed it. And I was like, yeah, I cut myself earlier. She goes, doing what? Couldn't remember how I did it. For the life of me right now, I can't remember how I did it. I remember it happened in the garage. But as far as actually how it happened, I have no idea. I don't remember. I remember saying, oh, fuck, and squeezing it. And, when you squeeze it, the blood starts to come out.
Right.
So I'm like, damn. But how did it actually happen? I don't remember.
Really?
But I honestly think it's one of those things that if it's not very significant, I don't retain it.
Right.
And the fact that I cut myself, I remember because I got a cut. As far as how it happened, it doesn't really matter how it happened because it happened.
I just have a cut.
Yeah, I just have a cut. Because I'll give you another example.
Yeah.
I put my mom's cell phone. I got my mom a cell phone on my plan. She's having issues with hers, and she does this auto pay, and she don't know how much money they're taking out.
Oh my gosh!
And it's just one of those things that, you know what? And she needs a new phone. She got like the 8. And
is that what you have? I'm just kidding.
And so it's just one of those things that it's just easier. I can put it in line on my account. So I got her a phone already, and we're trying to what they call port her number into it.
Right.
They're having a hard time doing it. Her carrier is not releasing the number as easily as should be done. So my carrier kept calling me all weekend with the same routine. Oh, we see we're having problems trying to port the number in. We need to give them a call. You need to be on the line with us. Dude, this happened like 10 times over the weekend. And I'm on the phone with them for at least an hour.
Each time?
Each time.
Oh, wow.
But the point of me saying this is because I know the information that they're asking. Like my mom's account number, the PIN for the account number, stuff like that. I'll remember because it's of importance, so I got to remember it.
Right.
Something like how I actually got this cut, I guess is not that important to me, so I don't retain it.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. But is there other stuff that happens? Because
there's a lot of stuff that happens.
Because I'll tell you, when my mom was going through it, I would tell her something, and within a couple of minutes, she'd ask again the same question that I had already answered. And I started thinking, okay, are you fucking with me, or do you really not remember? First of all. And then second of all, it was like, because there were certain times where you could tell her shit, and she would remember it and fucking recall it same day, 15 minutes later, hour later, 2 days later. No problem. So I started thinking, okay, well, kind of like, okay, is it because it didn't fucking matter to you? Like, it wasn't like you were, whatever. Like, it wasn't important to you, so you were half listening, you didn't give a shit? Or is it really that you don't fucking remember? Because I do that with the kids. I do that with Sebastian. Hey, so what days are you working this week? And right behind it, he'll just tell me, but I'm not fully listening to it.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, Mijo, what days were they? And he'll tell me 2 days later, hey, so what days are you off this week?
I do that with my old lady sometimes. But yeah, I honestly think that's what it is. It's almost like my head is so full.
Right.
I'm only keeping what I really need to know.
Right.
And that's kind of, and it's just not that important.
Well, because I think you are somewhat like me, where I don't write a lot of shit down. I keep it in my head. And I have it fairly well organized. Like, I know I know what and what is. But in order to keep it that way, I need to hold on any other information intake, and let's hold on to this until that's over, and then we can move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of like that. I think that's kind of what you're talking about. How worried is she though? Like, that she would bring it up, like, that's kind of...
Yeah. I mean, you got to consider the age. And it's one of those things, again, that because we're older, these are the types of...
Red flags, little warning signs.
No, well, this is the world we're coming into. In your 20s, you're worried about, how you're going to pay your rent.
Right.
And where you're going to party next. In your 30s, it's the kids, and as you start getting older, now you're talking about what pills are you taking, what kind of medications are you taking,
right?
And so this is just now we're coming into that
next phase of life.
Yeah. So, again, I don't think it's an issue per se, because I remember things that I need to remember.
Right.
But I'm not lying when I say I don't remember how I cut myself. I remember it happening and me squeezing my thumb like, God damn it, and then the blood coming out. And I was like, shit. But how it actually happened, I don't remember.
Does seeing your own blood bother you?
No.
Seeing other people's blood?
I don't think so.
What about animal blood?
I don't think so.
No?
Like my dog, when her little growth and she bled, I didn't bother me.
Didn't bother you? It doesn't bother me, like, seeing it, and I can push it out of my mind to help somebody. But if while I'm helping you, you're wincing or you're complaining, oh, it hurt, that shit bothers. Like, I'll come and help, but I want to be careful because I don't want to fucking hurt you. Like, I don't want to hear, like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, dude, it's going to hurt, so just bite down on it. Shh, it's okay. Like, when Sebastian was 3, he had a captain's bed, right? And it's kind of hot. You know what a captain's bed is?
No. Like
the beds with the drawers underneath for clothes and all that shit.
Storage bed?
Yeah, so it's called a captain's bed. But we can call it a storage bed, that's fine. So he slept kind of high, right? And that little shit used to like to sleep on the edge. I'd go in the middle of the night and I'd move him back to the middle of the night, right back over to the edge. Well, we had bought him a train table. And it was a nice wood table that, you could take the lid off, you put everything inside, you can use the top of it to color on or whatever it is, other arts or crafts or whatever it is you wanted to do on top of that train table, right? Well, he didn't put some shit away that night, and he fell off his bed, and he hit his eye, like the eyebrow, right on the edge of the train table. And the thud woke me up, and then his scream. So I run into his room and I told him, don't come in here. Don't fucking come in here. So he's fucking pouring out blood.
Who told you not to come in here?
No, I told her. I told my ex-wife not to come. Don't come in here. I got it. So I went and I took him into the bathroom and I'm cleaning him up, and he's not. He must have been in shock though, because he wasn't crazy. He was looking at his own blood, but he didn't cry or wince, or he was crying a little bit. But I was washing his eye off to kind of see how bad it was, and we never went to the doctor for shit like that. Just you got to cut your, lick it, and push it as close as you can together, and let it form a scab, and you'll be fine, right? She comes from the family. Oh my God, he needs stitches. So we're.
Why you say it like that? That's your son. Of course he's gonna need stitches.
Why? Just put a little bit of glue in there. That's all they're gonna put it right together. It'd be good. That scar right there. You could tell girls whatever you want happen to you right there. They're gonna, oh my God, he's so hot with all of his scars. But anyways, so I'm in the bathroom. I'm cleaning him up, and she comes in there. I think he needs stitches. So I think he'll be fine. You're gonna scare him. Let's relax a little bit, calm down. So we need to call so and so and see. So we had some friends, and he was a ambulance driver, worked in an ambulance. So we took him over to their house. I mean, it's 3:00 in the fucking morning. These poor people woke up to look at my son's eye, right? So they're like, yeah, you should probably take him to go get fucking. I told him, bro, come on. But he white too, so, yeah, take him. He could probably use a couple stitches. All right, fuck. All right, whatever. So we take him, and I'm preparing him the whole time. So this is what they're going to do, okay? They're going to take you in there. They're going to clean it off. It's going to hurt a little bit. They're going to give you a couple shots in where the cut is, and then they're going to sew it. Okay. And after a couple minutes, so remember what they're going to do, I'll be right there with you. Don't worry. I'll make sure everything's going to be okay. I'll be right there with you. Okay, Dad. And then again, I kept telling him, like every couple of minutes, okay, so when they take us back there, this is what's going to, okay, Dad. So sure enough, they took him back there, and the nurse is talking to him, and, okay, I'm going to clean it. Yeah, my dad told me. So they got him all prepped, and they pulled this sheet Do you know those blue papers that they put on?
Right.
So they put the blue paper, and it's got this hole, and it just right above his eye, so the shit wouldn't fall in, right? So like if they dropped a needle, it wouldn't stab him in the eyeball. So he's sitting there, and the doctor comes. Oh, my brave little boy, blah blah blah. I'm gonna give you some shots. Try to numb it up a bit. Okay. So pat pat pat. Gave him some quick shots, and he didn't fucking wince. Didn't make any, like, maybe just a little, you know what I mean? But didn't cry or nothing. I was like, all right, cool, all right. So I'm sure he was still in shock because I wanted to cry, like watching him do this shit, right? And that motherfucker watched the doctor sew him up. He sat there, he's looking up at him, and the doctor, okay, you sure you want to watch? Yeah. Okay. He's sitting there sewing him up, watching him. He had like 3 or 4 stitches in his eye. It was a pretty big cut. He probably needed stitches.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That'll be my first and only time that I've ever admitted that. And then we took him to go get a donut, and he was good, right? I was fine through that. Milo, he was jumping on a couch, and the couch was up against a wall that had a window. Now, the lip of the window seal was just above the back of the couch. And he kept jumping, and he's giggling. And hey, you need to stop. Because he would jump, and he would throw his head back. Dude, you need to stop doing that shit. And before I could get to him, he jumped, put his head back, and you just heard it. Pap! And then you just saw a little squirt. It's like, fuck. So I went and I grabbed him, and hey, he's bleeding. We gotta go. Let's take him to the doctor. So we took, because his was a pretty fucking wide gash. So I took him to this doctor, my favorite fucking doctor, dude. His Dr. De Jesus in Bakersfield. This dude was a great doctor. Mexican dude, like, had just gotten here from Mexico, like, finished all of his college and started his own practice there in Bakersfield. And so went there, and the doctor looked at him. He said, look, he said, you have 2 choices. He said, I could numb him. That's going to be 7 shots, at least. And then I can sew it, or I can staple it. But then you're talking, if I sew it, you're probably talking about 8 stitches. If I staple it, I could do it with 3 staples, or 4 maybe. He said, but I would rather just staple it without numbing him, because I'm going to stab him 7 times with a needle. That's not going to... Fuck it, let's go. Hey, my head, like, obviously not what I was thinking, but now that I'm reaching back, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, all right, let's go. So he said, all right, you're going to have to hold him because it's going to fucking hurt him, okay? I told him, I said, hey, this is what's going to happen. Okay, I'll be here with you, okay? Yeah, okay. So I said, I'm going to hold you now. So I held him, and I grabbed his head at the base, and it's kind of like in my armpit so that he can breathe, and I'm fucking holding him. And that doctor said, okay, mijo, here we go. And he fucking squeezed it, and he said, pat, pat, pat. Like, super fucking quick, dude. Like if he was stapling paper, you wouldn't even know that, you know what I mean, he was done. It was that fast. And it was so fast that Milo had enough time to go, and that was it. And he bawled for a little bit after that. But, man, these kids, both of them were pretty good about fucking, about getting shit like that done to them.
I'll tell you what, one Thanksgiving, again, we always go to, in the morning, we always go to the park with my wife's side of the family. We used to play dodgeball. And
okay.
And the dodgeball, my son got hit in the hand for some reason. Dodgeball. And he was like, oh, it hurts. And I was like, yeah, man up. You know, you're all right.
Right.
You know, you got jabbed, you know, whatever. And sure, he manned up. You know, he keeps saying it hurt, but we were like, yeah, whatever. Just man up. You're all right. Next day, it still hurts. Took him to urgent care. Sure enough, it was broken. We were like, oh, shit. We felt so bad.
Fuck.
He had to get a cast and everything. We were like, damn.
You got the cast and turned his arm over and said, hey, man up on this, Dad. Well, I did the same. I've broken both of my wrists. We were playing kickball at my uncle's house, and it was starting to get dark, and he had some holes in his yard. We didn't fucking care. Like, what's that got to do to us, right? So I was running around and my foot got stuck in one of the potholes. I went down, sure enough, snapped my fucking wrist. Started crying right away. They took me to the doctor. Fucking wrapped it up, sent me home. I was in first or second grade. And we ended up playing on the big yard, on the big side. For PE. And so at Rancho Mirage, you have like, there was levels. So like this level up here was where like all the young kids were at, like third grade and below or some shit, right? And then the very corner was kindergarten. And then so you would have like the foyer or the, I don't know, whatever the fuck you call it, would be the entrance to where the school was at, right? So you go in through there, and there's a big lawn, and then it goes up a hill, and at the top of the hill was the playground for the smaller kids. And then if you went to the right from that entrance, you go and you pass the auditorium, and then there's this big hill that goes all the way down to the bottom playground where the field was at, and the handball courts, and the what was that shit, tetherball, and all that shit was down there, right? Well, so that's when they still had the bars for the girls to do their gymnastics or whatever. Kids trying to do pull-ups or whatever, the monkey bars, right? That we were called. Yeah. So, but we would be up there and we would trip each other because we were dumb. So we tripped each other. And somebody tripped me, and I started rolling down the hill, and I started going so fast I couldn't stop myself. Well, at the bottom of the hill, there's a metal grate probably about this size. And when I landed, or when I went to stop, my hand went down and hit the metal grate, and I broke that wrist. And I knew it as soon as I hit it. And so I went up to the office, and I walked in, and I told the lady, I said, oh, can you call my mom and dad? I think I broke my wrist. Oh, honey, I'm sure you just strained it. Here, put this ice on it and set it and sit down. Okay. So I was there for about half an hour, and I asked her again. I said, can we call them now? Oh, honey, I'm sure you're fine. Just wait a little bit longer. So then the principal came out. Beautiful white lady, older lady. And she came out, and she said, honey, what's going on? Oh, we were playing trip, and I rolled down the hill, and I hit my hand on the, what do you call it? I think I broke it. And she pulled the ice pack off. My hand was swollen. Oh yeah, your hand is, yeah, you did something to it because it's pretty swollen. She said, why don't you go ahead and call his parents and tell them to meet us at the hospital. I'm gonna take him. So I was like, oh shit. My dad's gonna be mad. So, but this lady had this beautiful yellow Cadillac Eldorado. Shit was bad, bro. Like yellow outside, then you get inside and it's that like cream corn yellow almost. The leather and leather and white, yellow and white.
Or we could say blonde and white.
She was, yeah.
Is
yeah, that too. Yeah, that's a good call.
Where it started?
Yeah, all right. It could have been right. It's exactly where it started. So, oh, baby, you okay? No, it hurts. And the car had AC. I mean, I was like maybe 6.
Oh, those cars back then, that AC was cold.
Yep. Cadillac didn't fuck around.
Oh, man.
And I tell you what, 7 years, that was like the first time I had ever felt AC. The house that I grew up in didn't have air conditioner. It didn't have heat. All my dad's car had AC 55. We get to 55, roll the window down. And I was cold right away. I was like, what is that magical air coming from your car? It's so chilled. But yeah, I broke that then. And then I think that was the last thing I've sprained an ankle once in middle school wrestling. I tried to pick somebody up and turn them over, but I didn't have enough whatever on my foot. Like it was too much weight for me to just spin it all around, and I sprained my ankle. Have you ever broken any bones or anything?
No.
No? I'm such a bad parent, dude.
My daughter broke a wrist too, I think. She broke something. She had a cast for a little while. Also. I remember how she did hers, though.
So Sebastian's gonna kill me for telling this story. I think we've told it before, but I'm gonna say it again. So we were up in Hayward, and we were at the basketball courts because Milo always wanted to go play basketball or whatever. So,
I think he's told this story.
yeah, where he grabbed the rim.
Yeah.
Well, I took him to the doctor, and I don't remember why they didn't put a what do you call it on him? A cast. They gave him a brace for his wrist, but they didn't cast it. So we left, and we came down here for some reason. I don't remember what happened. So his mom calls when he's talking to his mom, and he tells her what had happened. And why the fuck are you down there with your kid? What? It's wrapped up. He's fine. He slept all the way here. Like, what? What's the big deal? You need to take it and make sure it's not broken. All right. Whatever. He's fine. No big deal. Sure enough, I fucking took him. It was broken. And they fucking put a cast on it down here. I was like, fuck. I felt so bad, though. Dude. I felt so guilty, but...
Now that I think about it, that's another one of those... when was the first time somebody figured out that you could break a bone and put it in a cast and it'll heal?
Yeah.
I mean, that... People... Way back when, people were probably breaking bones all the time. Our ancestors.
Do you think like, because there was a lot of people, like, you watch movies or you find old pictures of, like, from the West, and people were fucking always amputated. So I wonder if they didn't know that then. And
if they broke it, you just chop it off?
Yeah. No, you can't use that fucker anymore. Let's take it off to the knee.
You're probably right.
You know, now that you say that, because you're right. When did they start figuring that shit out?
I mean, who was the first person to say, "Oh, that'll fuse itself back together and you'll be 100% again"?
How did they figure out that it would do that?
Yeah.
Like, was it some fucking dude working out of a cave because he didn't want the rest of the town to see what experiments he was doing?
You figure, how long does it take for that to happen?
6 weeks, right?
I have no idea. 3
months? Something like that. I think you stay in a cast for 3 months.
Okay, so, I mean, who was the first person to sit there and let that shit ride for 3 months and say, oh, shit, had it just stayed still for those 3 months, it would have healed straight.
Yeah. I gotta hop over and get my fucking crutch. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And who decided, okay, well, the only way to save you is to cut it off? Like, where did that notion come from?
Well,
because I think they did it a lot too with snake bites. Because the rattler, I guess it kills the tissue. So have you ever seen one of those shows where they like the Dr. Snake or Snake Bite Survivors or whatever, where they show and they mark your arm, like, okay, so it was swollen up to an inch past the wrist, at, you know, normal wrist is 5 centimeters, it's 8 centimeters now, so 3 inches of swelling, and then they go back another hour and it's another 3 inches up their arm and it's swelling, and you start to see their meat and their muscles twitch, like just fucking twitching, going crazy. It's because the venom is starting to kill the muscle tissue.
No, I've never seen anything like that.
Oh my god, dude.
But one time, one of my customers, it's a while back, not that I noticed, but I hadn't seen him in a while. And then when I saw him, like, he was limping when he was walking, and one of his like ankles was like tore up, looked nasty. I don't remember if it was like swollen or if it was skinnier. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you got to be careful over there by that pool equipment. I got bit by a rattlesnake."
Oh shit!
And I was like, "Really?" He's like, yeah, that's why I haven't been here. I've been in the hospital, da-da-da. He goes, yeah, I got to learn how to walk again. And I was like, man, from a snake bite? He's like, yeah, they're around here, so you got to be careful. I was like, fuck.
Wow. And you don't, it's not really a thought for you most
Not
of the
at
time,
all.
right?
Not at all. Matter of fact, this just happened about a month or two ago. One of my other properties, they sent me a picture of a rattlesnake by the pool. And it was like up in the mountains type deal.
Right.
So they were just like, just be careful. And some old lady's like, you go walking back there, you got your headphones on, you're not paying any attention, you're just walking. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how it goes too.
Yep.
But whenever I go to this property now, I'm looking at my feet where I'm about to step.
Hell yeah. But the hard part is they fucking blend in, bro. And everybody, well, just listen. You know what? Sometimes that rattle don't fucking go off until it's too late. You know what I mean? So let's say you came up on a rattler. You were at one of your properties, and you came up on a rattlesnake.
Okay.
How would you handle it? What would you do?
I'd leave.
You'd leave?
Hell yes. What am I going to do?
You wouldn't try to get rid of the snake or kill it or
What?
Yeah.
I don't get paid that much money. I call whoever I need to call. You got a rattlesnake in your backyard.
Do you know that the what is it? The animal wardens that run around towns, what are they called? Like the dog catcher? They won't come and remove a snake. You have to call a snake specialist to come out to your property, and you have to pay to have that snake taken out.
And by the time he gets it, that's if you can even find it.
Right.
Animal control.
Crazy, right?
I believe it. They don't get paid enough either.
Come on. What kind of animals you trying to control? I'd rather fuck with a snake than a pit bull.
You're crazy. A rattlesnake?
Hell yeah.
No. A dog, all you gotta do is get one of them sticks with the collar on it, wrap that collar and pull the string and choke that motherfucker out.
I bet you it's easier dealing with a snake than it is trying to get a fucking pit bull.
Yeah,
with a
but
rope
see,
around it.
but you're thinking about the snake being on a nice piece of land, a nice grass area where you can see it. I'm talking about little areas where you're looking for it. You're looking to your left, looking to your right. You don't know what's behind that pump right there. No.
Could you imagine if you went and it was actually like a love nest? Have you ever seen those?
No.
Dude.
A love nest?
Yeah. It's basically a nest. So what happens is they go in and they have a certain time of year where and so all these snakes congregate and so you'll walk into a pit and it's like thousands.
Damn.
It could be up to thousands of snakes. Like there's these guys there's a show on TV. They're like snake hunters or whatever, and they'll get calls from people that own ranches, like in Texas or whatever. Hey, we got a fucking like a hive or whatever the fuck, the nest or whatever the fuck they're called, and they'll walk around the property. And they know what to look for, and they fucking find it, dude. And they'll dig out on the side of it, and all of a sudden, like fucking just snake after snake after snake falls out, and they're sitting there with buckets catching all these putting all these snakes in buckets. It's crazy.
How do snakes
well, I guess they have like this the little pee-pee that pops out towards the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, and they just fucking. They coil up together and it engages in her, and
so they pretty much have the same body parts as us. They just in like a smaller level.
Yeah.
Really?
And imagine that, dude. They're fucking with no arms. Just caressing you with their bodies. Do that shit with somebody with no arms out here. That shit illegal, you know. Yeah.
You mentioned we started off with the weather.
Yes.
The rain.
Yes.
I And you know what's messed up? It ain't even because of the rain that I did this. One of my sprinklers broke in the front yard.
Okay.
And it went all over my truck. And this is after it rained, like a week after.
So your truck was already clean.
Yeah. So when it rained, I had no problems with my windshield wipers. But when my sprinklers broke and it got on my truck one morning, I turned on my wipers and all I heard was scraping. So I turned them off and my wiper blades were just, I guess, worn.
Okay.
So now I got these lines in my windshield. Can that be fixed?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Serious?
Yeah. It all depends. Like, is it from the metal or is it? Oh yeah, no.
Come on, it's technology. If they could fix like a chip,
you'd have to take it to somebody that does like. I would think that does like glazing.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's like it's just more annoying that it's there.
Because like they would basically have to sand the glass and then buff it back out. I'm assuming, because that's basically what they do with like the headlights. You know, they get that grayish yellow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a couple of they could use just buffing compound on the headlights and do that. You can use off bug spray on newspaper and rub that on your headlights, and that'll clear them up for a couple months. But on a windshield, I never heard of them, because you basically etched your glass.
I can't believe it.
How long ago did you change the windshield wipers on the thing, or have you ever?
I don't think I ever when I got the truck.
You got to do that like every other year out here. How long have you had the truck?
2 years, 3 years maybe? 2 years?
It's been, about 2 years, right?
Yeah. But like I said, during the rain, it was fine. And this a week after the rain, week and a half.
Were they fine, or did you just not hear it because the water was coming down so hard?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Although it could have been that they did that and then, they sat in the heat for a couple of days and the rubber was like, yeah, I'm done, dude. I'm out.
Sucks.
You have bad luck with windshield wipers.
Well, now that I know how to change them.
Didn't help you
and
now.
And let me tell you, I changed them after that, of course.
So
and it rained.
So you got new ones on now?
Yeah.
And they're still on there? You're good?
Yeah, and those things are... New windshield wipers are like... Dude, they
make a world of difference, right?
World of difference.
You see everything again.
World of difference.
How old were you when you first learned how to really change windshield wipers?
50. We just had this conversation a few episodes ago. Right? Remember, I told you back in the day, you used to have to you just change the rubber part.
Right.
I didn't know how to do that, and I just did it on my Chrysler, and I was so stoked that I did it.
Wow. You know how to change the tire?
Yeah. Well, when you say change the tire.
Yeah, like if you got a flat,
Yeah.
But if you had to take a tire, if you had to do it all by yourself, like take the tire off the rim and do all that.
No, I couldn't do that.
No?
When my daughter was here, every time she come down, her tire light was on. And I would tell her, you got to find out which tire you're having a problem with. Because you probably got a nail in it. Because what it is she comes down here, this is pretty much her coming home, or should I say coming to my house, is really the only time she really drives her car.
Okay.
Because again, she walks to work. She might use it on the weekend for something.
And if she got a nail, it was probably your fault because she was coming to see you anyways.
But every time, so the last time she came down, we took notes. She had 3 tires that were kind of low. One more than the other 2.
Okay.
Then again, this time, same thing. But when I checked them, it was the one that was really low. So sure enough, you look under, you move the tire a little bit. I saw the nail. It was on the sidewall though.
Oh wow.
Not the side. It was more at the angle right before it turns flat.
Right, right
right there. Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to change that, to plug that. So I drove it over, and dude was like, yeah, I can't. It's too much on the side. So had to get her a tire. And the reason I'm saying this is because he changed the actual tire, like we were just discussing.
Right.
And yeah, there's no way I can do that.
Really?
Yeah, with that machine, you gotta it slips in and it crushes it down.
Dude, my dad used to do that shit by hand at the house. When we lived right across the street right here, my uncle made my dad a tire breaker. So you know how that machine that you're talking about has that scoop, right?
Yeah.
That goes down between the tire and pulls it off the rim.
Yep.
So it just had this little lobe that came out on the bottom, a little metal piece that came up, and on that metal piece it had an arm that came down that had that same little shovel piece on it, and a handle that you pulled up, put the little shovel piece on there, and pop it off, turn it around, pop it off, flip it back the other way, pop it off, and then he'd take it with the spring, like the coil springs are on a truck, the leaf springs.
Okay.
So he'd use something like that in a pry bar, and pull it up, and then use one to pull all the way along to pull it off the tire, pop it right off, and then, dude, look. My dad was fucking magic, bro. This old man was something else. He would be able to, so he pulled it off, right? And then he, mira, let me show you, mira. One time, show you, mira. And he put soap on the edge of the tire on the outside and on the inside lip, and then he'd put a little bit on the rim. And he'd hold the tire kind of at an angle, and he'd take the rim and he'd put it, right where he wanted it to be, right? And he'd pull it back, and he'd aim it one time, aim it two times, and then pop, pop. And he'd put that fucking rim right in the tire without anything. And you'd be sitting there just like you're looking at me like, get the fuck out of here. All the fucking time, like it's nothing. Just pop, pop. Like, god damn.
I don't understand how when you put a new tire on a rim, how you can fill it up with air and it'll hold. Because the tire is a little loose on a rim.
Right.
So when you start filling it with air, wouldn't the air just come out?
No, not necessarily. Because there's different, if you look at a rim, the inside of a rim, there's different ridges inside. And those are put in strategic places so that when the tire's on there and it's not on the sealed yet, if it hasn't made the full pop yet, it'll hold. And that's why sometimes the guys will push it. And now they use a speed filler. So what they do is they have a tank. It's just full pressure air. And they'll use that, and right away, shoom, and you'll hear the boop. And then you use the slow filler after that to get it to the right pressure inside. And that's how they're able to do it. We used to be able to do it, and I saw this guy do it. He used to do diesel tires for me when I ran a tire shop up in Dinuba, and he.
You just say you ran a tire shop?
Yeah, I ran a tire shop for about 8 months, 6 months.
I don't think I knew that.
No, nobody did.
Not one of your finest moments.
Yeah, right. No, not. You know what I mean? It was one of them things that had to be done. You know what I mean? Fuck, you go where the money's at. So I did that for a little while. But this guy, dude, he came to work for me, and he was a little suspect. Dude had like fucking 5 teeth, but he was a fucking strong little short Mexican dude, bro. And I guess he was pretty known there in Dinuba, not for the right reasons, but he was working for me and whatever. So this guy came with a truck, with a semi. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure I can get the tire. So I called the owner and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So he had me there the tire in an hour. And he was like, but you don't have any of the tools to... I said, all right, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. So The guy pulled the tire off the fucking truck, right? No, he did it while it was still on the truck because it was the outside tire, right? So he had the guy drive the truck up on the curb. So like, you know how it has the little rounded curb, right?
Yeah.
So he put the inside tire on that little at the top of the slope. So the outside tire, because didn't have any air on it, the guy could manipulate it. He pulled it off the rim, and he was able to put the other tire back on that rim because it was deflated. And then he put soap. We had this like really greasy, thick soap, and he put it on the outside of the tire to fill the bead. So that way he pushed it up against the back. And then he was the first one I ever saw do this, and he sprayed accelerant. So like WD-40 or brake cleaner or whatever into the tire, and then threw a match on it. And it's a boop, and then there's a little explosion. Tire pops onto the fucking bead of the tire. Check the pressure. If it needs more, you put a little more air. If not, you're done. You call it a day. That motherfucker was bad, bro. I learned a lot of shit up there. I was like, holy shit, dude. It was very, very impressive to be able to do that shit. Like, would you ever think of that? Like, let's say you were out in the cut and you're fucking for some reason your tire was just low, and you came out and it was flat. There was nothing there was no reason for it to go flat, but it was out of air. And you didn't have a compressor, but you had some fucking Aquanet in the match. Basically what he put in there, you know what I mean? And fucking got the tire up and running. I was like, holy shit, dude. Oh yeah, that's how we do it all the time. He said, I used to work for a company where we would do that shit on the freeway. So you just got to be careful. When you throw the match, step back, because if it blows and you put too much and it's a bigger explosion, that shit'll fuck you up. Like, holy shit, dude. So, but that, I mean, anytime you work on a car, it's scary shit. Like, you'll see YouTube videos now of guys that, like, when we lowered cars, sometimes you would buy lowered springs. So, like on your car, like on your Rabbit, right? Let's call it your Rabbit. Let's go back then. So it had what was called a strut.
Right.
Right? So then you have a spring that wrapped around the shock, right? And when you pulled it out, it all came out as one assembly, all together. Your shock and your spring was mounted on your shock. So if you wanted to lower your car, you'd buy lowered springs, right? But what you had to do, that spring was under pressure. So you had to clamp it in order to take off the spring or take off the top and then unclamp it slowly. Because if you just went and you took off the screws off the top, that motherfucker would shoot out, and it's under pressure. And you got to remember, it's holding up your fucking car. So it could break your leg, it could break your arm. It could fucking kill you if it hits you in the head. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. Like, there's videos online where these fucking idiots are taking them apart. There was one where this guy was taking it apart. He finally got the last one, and it wouldn't come, and he tapped it, and that motherfucker shot and hit his car. Put a big old dent in it, shot back just past him. It just fucking missed him. And it went through his window in his house. And you could see everywhere it fucking ricocheted. And I was like, holy shit, that's scary shit, dude. A lot of that shit gets fucking super crazy. So I guess Sebastian's working really late tonight. I guess he's not coming. I don't know why I just thought of that. I just realized he's not here. Well, not just realized, but you know what I'm saying. Don't get all hurt, Sebastian. That's not what I'm saying.
So my daughter, when she just went home last week, after the New Year, and she had me dying laughing because I was in the living room and she was like taking stuff to her car. She always brings a suitcase of dirty clothes. My old lady watches it, and so she's rolling stuff back out. She, wherever we eat, whether it be eating out or my sister-in-law's house or my mother or we made something, it's like she got leftovers for days.
Right.
So she's taking all that out. Then all of a sudden she's walking out. She got a spray bottle of Febreze in one hand. She got a roll of toilet paper under her arm. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? And she looked at me. She looked at the stuff. She's like, shoot, I'm grocery shopping right now. I'm like, man. She had me dying.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I feel so bad for her kid.
Why?
I told you she got a raise, right?
Yes.
Dude, she was so cloud nine. She got herself a raise. Boom.
Bumped her to the next tax bracket, didn't it?
She hasn't done her taxes yet, but that'll be for next year, I guess.
No, I mean, I thought you were going to tell me that she makes less now because it bumped her into the next tax bracket.
No.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They raised her rent.
Nuh-uh.
She's pissed, kid. She's heated.
How could they raise it? Didn't you sign it? You signed a lease, didn't you?
Yeah. Her lease is coming up already.
Already?
Yeah. She moved in like, November-ish? The year before?
Oh, I thought you signed a 2-year lease.
15-month.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be coming up in a couple of months. And I guess she went to talk to them about it already. Because she's planning on staying. They're like, yeah, no problem if you staying, but, rent's going up. And, dude, she's like, could they actually do that?
What's her rent now?
Did I say what it was before?
I don't remember.
Well, it's $200 more.
That's a decent chunk, though.
At least 10%.
Holy
and they raised the rent on the parking spot, too. $20. And I'm like, yeah, that's adulthood.
Now eggs are $10 a fucking dozen. Holy shit!
She's heated, kid. Heated, and they got you. That's how they got you.
Right.
They know it's gonna cost you that much to move. Find another spot, make another deposit. They know.
Yeah, ain't nothing you can do, right?
Yeah.
You're at their mercy. But I guess at the end of the day, if where she's at is in a decent place, it's close to work.
Very close.
What's an extra $200? Other than
don't get me wrong, $200 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially at that age.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It's a lot of bottles. Just saying.
I felt bad for her too, because we were just talking about the rain.
Right?
She walked to work in the rain. She said the wind was so bad that her umbrella went like inside out.
Oh shit! Damn. That's crazy. How's your boy liking all the winter weather up there in Chicago?
He says it hasn't snowed yet. He says it's cold as fuck though.
I bet.
But it hasn't snowed. I mean, they still go out like on the weekends and stuff. He said he had to. Kind of proud of the kid. He had to stand up for himself to his barber. He found himself a barber out there.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that you make an appointment online type deal.
Right.
He walked in time for his appointment, and the barber before he walked in, the barber had sat somebody else down and started his haircut. So my son walked in and was like, what's going on? I got an appointment. And dude was like, oh, I'm sorry, there was something, I don't remember exactly what happened in regards to where the mistake was. But he was like, I'll just finish him up and then I'll get to you. And so my son waited. My son got faded up. And after he was done, he had to have a little chit-chat with him. Like, yo, this ain't the first time it's happened. You take appointments for a reason. And I make an appointment for a reason type deal. So you can't have me waiting. This ain't going to work out if this is how it's going to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what does Barber say? Door to door.
To be honest, he was like the barber wasn't even listening to him. But hey, yeah, take your money elsewhere.
Yeah.
If you can't appreciate you.
That's it.
I know he tipped him at Christmas. So, if you don't want that tip.
That's fucking hilarious. So did you tip this last Christmas? All the people that you normally tip?
Not all the people, no.
Why?
It got to be too late and too expensive. So I tipped like the main players.
What about the people that were expecting it to, believe and remember you and?
Yeah. They got shortchanged this year, unfortunately.
That's cool though, because you put that money towards the burgers that you made that were fantastic, and the ribs that you did at Lou's. I'm good with that. You show whoever you got to show. You just keep that good food coming, homie. We be good.
You want to know something? I'll give you. I'm gonna let the secret out about those ribs.
Where'd you buy them?
You want? No, I made them.
Oh,
But I'm gonna let the recipe out because there was a couple people who liked them.
yeah, that was really good, dude.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, really easy. You get yourself some pork baby back ribs.
Okay.
Okay, these are not This style is not barbecue. This is more like almost an Oriental.
Okay.
Or the Asian. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay. You barbecue. Everybody listening, that had them. You grill these on the barbecue. You put these ribs on there. Okay. And then, hold on. So I don't mess it up. I gotta look it up.
So if you weren't at this party that we were at, and that Tony brought these ribs to, the ribs were fall off the bone, and the flavor was just, I don't know, I can't even describe it to you, but it was super good. All I know is I wanted more and there weren't any.
Okay, you ready for the secret recipe?
Yeah.
It's a bottle of Panda Express sweet chili sauce.
And that's it?
It's actually, sweet chili, Panda Express sweet chili sauce. You can buy it at the store.
So you just grill them.
Just grill them and pour that sauce all over them.
And that's
then I put sesame seeds and green onion.
And that's it.
And that's it. The trick is you got to drown them in this sauce. You can't marinate it like overnight like you would barbecue.
Right.
It doesn't take for some reason. I've tried it. It doesn't work. Because it's more of a molasses type sauce.
Right.
So it doesn't go into the meat. Or maybe it doesn't cook right. I don't remember. I tried it, but it just didn't work out.
That probably burns too fast.
So the trick is you got to just drown them in that sauce.
How many bottles do you usually use?
Probably 2.
2. And it's a Panda Express. One more time.
Sweet chili sauce.
Panda Express sweet chili sauce.
And it's great with white rice. Ugh.
Well, I bet it is.
Oh, yeah, it's really
I'm making my mouth water right now thinking about it. Man.
But that sweet chili sauce is good, kid. It's real good.
I'm going to have a couple of days off next week. I just might try it out. Shit. That sounds really good. All right. So, I tried talking about something close to this before, and a bunch of people were up in arms and telling me that why do I say shit like that, or why do I think that way, or whatever. And there's been this big push about, what do they call it? Toxic masculinity, right?
Ah, shit! You're gonna get yourself in trouble,
right? And they pushed. And they push, and they're talking about how, men, blah, 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 that they shouldn't do that. There was somebody came out that has no scientific anything and said that men need to get testosterone out of their body or whatever, that it's toxic to their system. And the truth is, women have testosterone as well. They just have more estrogen than we do. And that's the difference between a male and a female. Okay? So we have the same makeup. They just happen to have more estrogen to counteract the testosterone than we do. Okay? So let me start that off. That was a lot to say. I'm going to preface this as well. There was a lot of comedians have talked about what I'm about to talk about. Matter of fact, Bill Burr, which is one of my favorite comedians, has talked about this. And they talk about how whenever there's a domestic dispute, he's a piece of shit. They don't even go to find out, what happened to get him there? Why did that happen? All of a sudden, everything is right. As soon as some shit like that happens, where there's some sort of domestic issue, everybody go right after the dude, right? You probably figured out what I'm talking about. So, Dana White, president and main face for the UFC.
Okay.
Him and his old lady were in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. I can't believe I just said it like that. They were on the second level at a nightclub. And obviously, him and his old lady were inebriated. You could tell. And for some reason, she slapped him. And you could tell that it kind of caught him off surprise. Yeah, whatever.
Off guard.
Caught him by surprise. There you go, off guard. And he turned around and slapped her back.
Oh, you can't do that.
And so everybody's going after him for doing that, just like you did right now. So why was it okay for her to do it? And why isn't anybody calling her out for that?
Well,
because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right?
Yes. Every action does have a reaction, but a reaction doesn't have to necessarily be you get what you give type deal. You
Why
slap
not?
me, I slap.
Women want to be equal.
How okay, let me ask you this. How big is she compared to him?
Doesn't matter. She took the first step and slapped him. And he defended himself by slapping her back. My question is everybody's going after Dana, right? Oh, he should be canceled. What's the UFC going to do to him? Why haven't they blah, blah, blah? And he addressed it. He came out, hey, you know what? We were obviously we were drunk having a good time. Nothing like that's ever happened again or ever happened like that before. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Like, maybe I'm wrong, whatever. But, I mean, he works in you got to remember, he works in an environment where it's all fucking alpha males all day long. And it's all, you want to talk about he's in the pit of toxic masculinity. Like, that's his environment. That's where he lives. That's where he stays, right? Because of what he does, the people that he deals with. Besides that, that's a moot point. It doesn't even matter. My question is why, when she's the one that slapped him first, is everybody going and calling out Dana? What about her actions?
Well, maybe it's because he's the popular one. He's the celebrity.
So because he's a celebrity and he's reacting to something that someone did to him, it should be him that gets taken out? That doesn't make any sense. How ass backwards is that?
Well, maybe his slap was deserved.
And hers wasn't?
Was he flirting with another woman in front of his wife?
It didn't look like it. They were just standing there, and all of a sudden she slapped him.
There's a video?
I thought maybe, yeah, there's a video. My thought is that, remember how I was talking to you about the slap bar?
The slap bar.
That people go in and they pay and they get a shot, and the chick behind the counter slaps them? Have you ever seen that? They have a bar like that in Mexico. There's a couple of different places too. In San Diego, Long Beach, shit like that, they do them. Called a slap bar. You go in, you pay for a shot, you take your shot, and bah! Right across the fucking face. Like you haven't even put your fucking shot glass all the way down. Pop! Dude, I saw one, this chick was setting her fucking shot glass down, and that girl just said, like, fucking from way back, like she knew her and was like, this is for my ancestors, bitch. And said, pop! And then rocked that girl. Like, she was like, oh, shit. No more of them shots for me. But it all brings it back to the, okay, yes, he slapped her. He shouldn't have slapped her. I get it. I'm with you.
So, okay, that's all that needs to be said, though.
No. The question is why is it always the first person they go after is the dude? She clearly slapped him first.
Because she's at a weight disadvantage.
So? It didn't seem to bother her when she took her fucking hand and slapped him. Why is it okay?
If some kid did something to you and you slapped the kid,
goddamn right.
It's not that it's a fight, but it's not a fair fight because there's a weight differential.
Correct.
So she's probably petite.
But you're not. No, now you're comparing apples to oranges. We're not talking about children. She's a full-grown woman, and he's a full-grown man, and she took the initiative and slapped him, and he defended himself. Why is it such a problem?
Because in society, a man is not supposed to hit a woman.
Well, but that's toxic.
A man hitting a woman? Yeah, you can say
No. Taking that stance, that then you're taking in that whole model of equal rights for men and women is out the window. Right? Because if you're going to slap somebody and she did it first, it's like if you were in school and you got in a fight and you were the first one to throw a punch, you got in trouble. Right?
Right.
Isn't that what they do?
Yeah.
So if they were in middle school or they were in fucking 3rd grade, she'd have gotten suspended because she threw it first, right? Because she slapped him first. My question is why do we continue to go after the male when clearly in the video she's the one that started it? She slapped him. And no matter what he did, that doesn't mean that she's allowed to put her hands on him, just like he's not allowed to put his hands on her. But I think if he gets slapped, that he should be able to defend himself. Now, had he cranked his arm fucking way back and slapped her and like fucking trying to knock her out, that'd be different.
Okay, why would it be different? He's just defending himself according to your side of the story.
You're right. It is, and that's what I said. But there's also that whole thing about that's where that size difference comes in, and that's where that being a male, and that's even him hitting her lightly makes it even more toxic because he's taking into account that she's a fucking female. He's no longer treating her equal because he's not hitting her the way he would hit a man. So what I'm trying to explain is, in that situation, it's a lose-lose for any and every fucking man. Because she slapped him, he slapped her back, and not full force because she was, after he did it, she was still standing. She didn't fucking get pushed back or dip back, so he didn't fucking crank her. And now that's toxic because he didn't treat her equally, or else he would have fucking sent her flying across the fucking room. So ladies, what do you fucking want? You want to be able to treat men and do whatever the fuck you want to us, and we just have to sit there? That's where the world's going to. This is my point. Is that no matter what, because he's the dude, everybody's right after him. Oh, he shouldn't have hit her, blah, blah, blah. Why? He was defending himself. She took the first shot. Like, why? What? I don't understand.
Okay, see, you're using that phrase, defending himself, a little too loosely.
Why?
Because you said she slapped him.
Right.
Was she going after him, slapping, scratching?
It doesn't matter. A slap's a slap. He has the right to slap back.
But that's not defending yourself.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. Defending yourself is when something is consistently happening to you, you're defending yourself. So
you're saying if somebody walked up and hit you once in the mouth, they could walk away and you'd be like, oh, it's cool, he didn't hit me more than once, you wouldn't do anything?
No, but there's no more. I'm not defending myself any longer.
How are you not defending yourself?
Because it's already happened and the person stopped. How am I defending myself?
Well, because if you would be, maybe because he stopped because you were defending yourself. That's the whole point.
That's why I just asked you. Did she continue with it?
No.
Or was it just a single slap? A single slap.
No, because after he slapped her, she tried to come back and slap again.
Okay, well, no, you can't.
So
you
how
can't,
is that not? It's the same thing because if you hold on, because you're talking about if it's just one then it's not blood bullshit.
No.
Hold on, because she slapped him, he slapped her back, and then she came back for more. So he's defending himself.
After the fact, yes.
Well, because if he would have done it before, he would have been the one on the offensive. He would no longer be defending himself. He would be assaulting her.
If somebody tried to kick down your door, threw a kick on the door, couldn't kick it down, and he starts walking away, and then you shoot him, that's not defending your home, because he's walking away.
You're comparing. Nope, you're comparing fucking apples to oranges. Okay, stick to the task.
She slapped him.
Right.
One and done. He slapped her back. That's not defending yourself.
How is that not defending yourself?
Because she's not continually trying to slap
But
him.
how do you know that?
Because you just told me.
No.
I asked you.
Well, because, but that's not what happened. So I can't tell you something that doesn't happen. Because as soon as she did it, he slapped her back.
No,
it wasn't like she slapped him and he sat around and thought, well, should I hit her back? Should I not? What's going to happen? No, she fucking slapped him. He slapped her back.
No,
because he defended himself.
No, that's not defending.
How is that not defending yourself?
That's not defending yourself. That's retaliating. That's not defending.
Well, I'm sorry. Retaliating is defending yourself. How do you figure that that's retaliating? If somebody hits you.
Okay, somebody hits me.
Somebody hits you. You can't hit them back because that's retaliating?
No, I would hit him back because I would be retaliating.
Would that not be defending yourself?
No, because if he continued to hit me, and I'm hitting him back, then I'm defending myself.
No. Retaliating would be if the dude hit you and you sat around and thought about it, and then when you guys left the club that night, you and 4 of your fucking friends jumped him, that's retaliating. In the moment, that's defending yourself. Because if somebody hits you, you're not going to stand around and wait for them to find, is he going to hit me again? So that I can defend myself? No, you're gonna swing back and drop bombs and figure that shit out the fuck later. Throw sand, whatever it is you're gonna do. You know what I mean? I don't see you getting hit and standing there and being okay. I'm gonna give him 5 Mississippis and see if he hits me again, and then I can defend myself. No, as soon as you get hit, you're gonna cover up and you're gonna figure out where he's at and you're gonna fucking hit him back.
So you're saying that's what he did?
Well, she was standing right there.
He reached
back. Yes, he put his hands up and slapped her.
It's a lose situation. He shouldn't have done it. That's his old lady.
Why should he not have done it?
Because that's his old lady.
She shouldn't have slapped him.
That is true.
Okay.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Right. So now we're back to square one. So the original person that slapped him was the one in the wrong, not Dana. His wife, Ann, was the one in the wrong and not Dana because she slapped him. That's what you just said.
Oh, yeah. And then when he, as you so eloquently put it, defended himself.
Yes.
He was wrong for doing that.
Why? Why should he not be able to defend himself?
Because you you shouldn't have to defend yourself against your wife.
You're right, but she created the issue. So why can he not defend himself? And why is everybody going after Dana for defending himself when he didn't create the issue?
You see, that's why Chris Rock is up here now, because he chose not to defend himself. as you're putting it. He took the high road, so now he's the better person. Dana should have took the high road.
But you're talking about two dudes. That's different. What Chris Rock did say that would fit perfectly in this scenario was like, he said, I never hit a woman, but I shake the shit out of her. Did you ever see that special where you talked about that?
I've seen all of them, but I don't.
You don't remember it, just like you can. Isn't that kind of suspicious? All of a sudden, you can't fucking remember, whatever, dude. It's just something that I saw and I heard in the news, and all these people coming to defend him, and people calling for him to lose his job, and people all this.
I thought he was the owner of that company.
No, he was part owner, and then at some point, he sold to the two brothers, if I remember correctly, and now he just works for them. Like, he just covers all of their. But it's one of those things, dude. It's like as a dude, it just goes to show you that you're fucked, because no matter what, just like you said, in the eyes of society, because hold on, I'm not done. Fuck. In the eyes of society, because she's a woman, he's in the wrong. Which I get it. We shouldn't hit women. I get it.
No, you don't, but it's okay.
Yeah, I do. And if a woman balled up her hand and came at me like a dude, I'd treat her like one. Yeah, I've said that before, and I'll stand by it, because if she's got enough anger at you to roll up her hand and want to hit you like a dude, fuck that. Like a slap, okay, I might one time. You're gonna get a fucking freebie.
Okay.
Don't ever fucking do.
So why? Why is that?
Well, because I know that I could fuck her up.
Okay, exactly.
But that's
and
not
if that was your wife.
But that's not the point.
That is the.
That is not.
You just proved my point.
That is not the point. The point is that she still struck him first. Why isn't anybody calling her out for starting it? That's what I'm getting at. Is that no matter what.
See, but here's the thing. And I said it from out the gate. It's because he's the celebrity. She's not. If it was two people on the street, yeah, you could sit there and say, yeah, she deserved it.
But because he's Dana White.
Yeah, and he's got a reputation to protect. He's the one that brings probably the money into the relationship. He's the one. So he's the one that has to be the bigger person. Be like, yo, I can't mess up my paper. So I'm gonna have to let that slide. I'll get you when we get home. You see what I'm saying? We'll handle this when we get home, because there's cameras everywhere.
Right? These hands gonna fuck you up when we get on. Watch. Ooh, you better go now, because I'm like, ooh wee. Yeah, dude. It's just, it's a trip to watch, only because
I hadn't even seen the video.
I'm not even that. I'm just saying the whole thing play out. Like, it's a trip to watch because there's so much shit about, toxic masculinity and women being treated differently than men. And you have some women that are like, hey, you know what? Guys live this life where they can't tell you about their problems. They'll tell you. You ask them if everything's okay, they'll say yeah, and they're gonna figure it out on their own, because they can't let their shield down to tell you, because you'll emasculate them, and all these things that happen and going on in the country that are emasculating men. And this is another one of them. And the fact that they won't say, it never even should have made it to the fucking news. But because he's Dana White, it did. I get that. But to some degree, it's got to be like, I don't know, there's no fucking middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a man does something to a woman, it's a man's fault. If a man does something to a woman and he retaliates or he defends himself, whatever you want to call it, he's wrong. Why? If they want the same pay and they want the same this and they want equal rights, they want to be treated the same, then why? Why are we holding on to old values for men, but not for women? Make sense?
No.
How does that? No, it doesn't make sense that they're doing it, or what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
That they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because I'm a happily married man, and
Look, I'm gonna ask you a question. I need you to answer it honestly.
You ain't my woman. I can lie to you,
right? And you don't need to say it out loud, bro. But I'm gonna ask you this question, and you just blink if it's true. Does your wife beat you, bro? Like, you need help? Do I need to sense it? I need to intervene, dog. You all right? Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
No.
No? Have you ever?
Probably back in the day.
Was
Not
there-
that I can remember.
Was there ever one that you made that you stuck with?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Nah.
So you don't even worry about making them, or
No.
do you go into the new year thinking about, hey, you know what? I think I need to change this, or hey, I need to try this.
Okay, I lied.
Okay,
Okay. I should have said that I lied.
you forgot.
No.
I know.
There is something that I am going to try and do differently.
Okay,
I am going to try certain foods.
good for you.
I am going to make a little bit of an effort instead of immediately shutting it down.
And saying I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm willing to give it a try. Now, I did it with that cauliflower.
And it surprised the shit out of you.
Surprised me. We went out to dinner the last night. My daughter was here. We went out to dinner, and my daughter ordered a mushroom soup,
Ooh, I wouldn't have tried
cream of
that.
mushroom type soup. I tried it.
Nope.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. Did it taste very earthy?
It just tasted very mushroomy,
Yeah.
and it was mushroom. Like mushroom on pizza is good because there's a hint of it.
Right.
This was just mushroom, and it was like, oh yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, kudos for you for trying
See what
that
I'm
one.
saying?
Though.
Boom.
Good.
So it's not like it was a New Year's resolution, but it was like, you know what? I'm being made fun of too much about it, and I'm being told I'm missing out on too much.
Okay.
So it's like, you know what? Let me give it a try.
So you're folding under the peer pressure.
Yes.
Good for you.
But with the caveat that just because I'm saying this don't mean I'm going to try it. Don't try to give me some... I'm not going to eat octopus.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. I'm with
See
you.
what I'm saying? I don't care. No. It ain't happening.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat bull testicles.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But I might try a tamale.
Is there? You've never had a tamale?
I've had it once or maybe twice.
And just don't care for it?
Yeah.
Really?
But I'll be willing to give it a try.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Is there any food that you've passed up on the past that has made it onto your radar that you're like, okay, well, I need to try that because I should have tried it back whenever?
Not as of yet, no. No. Let me, and for example, I have tried shrimp in the past.
Okay.
Like, you go to Kobe's, a tip-on table, and they throw it in your, and they try to throw it into your mouth. Mm-hmm. I've done that, and I've eaten it. So it's not like I haven't had shrimp.
Okay.
But to me, it's not anything special. And then when you're eating it and they just dip it in the butter, it's like all you doing is tasting rubberized butter to me.
So you don't like lobster either then?
I've never tried lobster.
Really?
Yeah.
This is like a big shrimp.
So to me, it's like...
So have you ever done what it's called like a crab boil?
No.
Or a seafood boil?
Where they dumped it all... Yeah, no.
Dude, there's this place in Coachella right now in Indio, I think, like right on the border, and it's called Kimki's, and they make a seafood boil, and you get like potatoes and corn And then when we get it with sausage, and we get it with shrimp. And it's $23 for 2 people, or 26, but 23 bucks for 2 people. And it's a pretty good sized bag, dude. But now you can add rice, you can add noodles, you can add eggs, you can add lobster, you can add crab legs. I mean, there's a plethora of shit like clams, oysters, all that shit that you can add to it. But we normally just get it like that, and it's all that Cajun seasoning. I think I want to try lobster done with that Cajun seasoning. That shit is so bomb. But the hard part is that the shrimp come, like they take the head off of these shrimps, so I'm cool with that. But you still got to peel the outside of the shrimp off to get to the actual shrimp. Some people just eat the whole shit like that, like the outside of the shrimp, kind of like when you're eating pumpkin seeds. Do you peel pumpkin seeds, or do you just eat them like that? You don't eat them.
I don't eat them. But okay, let me ask you. Let's rewind real quick.
Huh?
Do you not agree with me that when you take shrimp and you dip it in the melted butter, all you're really doing is tasting the butter?
Well, 2 things. Shrimp shouldn't be rubbery, because if it is, they cooked it too long. Second, it shouldn't just be butter. It should be garlic butter.
Okay, then don't you just taste the garlic butter?
Who cares? That shit is delicious. Do you want me to tell you? It's like having a small piece of garlic butter gum at that point then. That shit is bomb. Barking up the wrong tree.
So you do agree with me that you're not really tasting a shrimp. You're tasting the garlic butter.
Well, does shrimp really have a taste? Not really, right?
Thank you. I agree with you. There is a hint. I've had shrimp.
You're right.
There is a little taste to it, and that's when it's plain.
But not a significant taste where you'd be like...
Yeah, so what is the big deal? Just the fact
I think
that
just the way that it's... I think, just the way it's being made and the way it's done. Because not everybody eats like you get... Okay, so Outback does that coconut shrimp with that marmalade sauce. Have you ever had that? Oh, fuck. So it's shrimp. It's shrimp, and it's covered like in a batter, but it's got like shredded coconut.
Okay.
Right? And then they make this fucking marmalade sauce.
Okay.
And I'm tempted to say it's kind of like that fucking Panda Express sweet fiery chili sauce that you put on the ribs. But you dip it in that, and oh my God, they're fucking phenomenal, dude.
But what are you actually tasting? You're actually tasting the coating,
the marmalade, the coconut,
and the sauce.
And a very light taste of shrimp. However, let me tell you, if you do have shrimp, and you can taste it through whatever, don't eat that shit, because you're gonna be fucking Earling in about an hour.
You're proving my points. What's the big deal about eating shrimp?
I mean, it's just that you're eating shrimp. I mean, they're the cockroaches of the sea. They eat everything off the fucking bottom. They scurry along. You shine a light, they run the different direction. Yeah.
New Year's, as I told you, we eat dinner at my sister-in-law's house.
Okay.
They do a steak, lobster, king crab leg.
Oh.
And my old lady and my daughter, they got it down to a science to where, you know how you use those crackers to crack the shell? Mm-hmm. Well, they don't. They use scissors.
Okay.
And they pull it out of the shell, and it comes like one long piece.
Oh, wow.
They got it down to a science, and they dip it in that butter and take a bite.
Yeah.
To me, all that work for that, and that's crab leg, so I don't even know what that tastes like because I've never had that.
So that's the... I'm gonna agree with you on the crab legs because they're fucking delicious, and part of it is because it's the butter. Yes, I get it. But it's so much work cracking them, and then like sometimes you'll go and they've pre-cracked them. So before they come out of the kitchen, they crack the shell for you. And then you just got to kind of pull it apart and pull it out slowly and make sure that you try to get that whole chunk in one piece. So I remember when we lived up north in Hayward, they would do crab fests. So you would go and you would pay your $20-$30, right? And they'd bring out whatever your salad or whatever it was you were going to have. And then they just bring out platters of crab. And you'd have like a couple of side dishes to go with the crab that you ordered, right? And you're just sit there and you're fucking going, you're just mowing through it, eating piece after piece after piece. And as soon as that's gone, they bring out another fucking tray of crab. Well, apparently when you do like crab fest like that, they don't always have butter. Sometimes they just bring out the crab like that. Well, I think I still have them. My sister bought the little carafes that have the little stand underneath it, so it holds like the little bowl, and where you put one of those little floaty candles, votive, is that what they're called, votive candles, and light it so that it heats the tray and melts the butter for you, and it keeps the butter warm. So we would take that with us and fuck it up. We'd take like 2 or 3 of them.
Why couldn't you just enjoy the meat?
Well, it's the same way. Why do you put ketchup on a burger? Why don't you just enjoy the meat?
But if you go to a restaurant that doesn't have ketchup, you're not bringing your own ketchup. You're just eating it like the...
Yeah, but I bet you won't go back and have a burger there either. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of, because it's just what goes with it. You know what I mean? Just like when you go to fucking Chick-fil-A, everywhere else you'll eat potatoes with ketchup, but when you go to Chick-fil-A, you're dipping in their sauce, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. So when you eat crab, you dip it in butter. You don't just eat it like that.
See, but the butter is just so unhealthy for you.
No, it's not. It's actually come around that butter's healthy for you.
You would lie.
Bullshit. But it can't be the processed butter. It's got to be grass-fed or that Kerrygold, which is Irish butter, and that's good for you. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I saw that today. And I mentioned this to somebody at my work, because they're kind of health conscious and all that bullshit. And they said that you're better off cooking in pork fat that's been rendered. So like your bacon grease and all that shit. And I remember growing up, and my mom always should make the bacon in that. She'd fry your eggs in your fucking bacon grease. And then when I got with their mom, oh no, God, you got to stop doing that. That's going to kill you, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, oh, you got to stop. You got to use the right fats, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And it comes out that that's actually one of the better greases to use when you're fucking cooking food, and it's healthy for you. It's not as bad as they say it is. Just like olive oil and avocado oil. But those olive oil and avocado have to be what is it? There's some sort of marking on it that tells you, like, if it's all pure or whatever, if it's not like half extracted or whatever it is. I don't know.
Isn't that just virgin olive oil?
Yeah. And that's the extra virgin, like, that's really expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't have my eggs cooked in oil or grease. That's nasty.
What do you cook it in?
Butter or margarine.
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a lot of butter to like. But do you eat fried eggs? Do you like the yolk?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I've been having a lot of eggs lately because I've been forcing myself to eat breakfast.
Right.
So.
I thought you were one of those. Oh no, I don't like it runny. Fucking pop it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Starting to sound like you, bro. I gotta stop that shit. I don't like it. It's fucking funny. Well, the guys, that we're on the group chat with, they wanted us to do a special where you tried certain foods that you didn't like. Would you be down to do something like that? Like you mentioned, you don't eat tamales. We get you tamal. We get you pozole. We get you menudo.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we'll have to set that up. We're going to be doing one here in the near future then. Because I think there's some of the things that you don't like, Sebastian doesn't like either.
But why's it got to be all Mexican food?
It doesn't. Those are
okay.
just, because those are the things that we talk about, and those are the things, yeah, no, I don't like it. But like, I don't know, what else is on your plate that you don't, have you ever eaten duck?
No.
Oh, it's fucking good, dude. Duck is really good. Have you ever eaten Thai food, period?
Yes.
What do you eat?
Chicken.
Is it the one that has the peanut butter sauce that you dip it in? Like it's curry chicken, I think?
I don't know.
Dude.
I didn't like it.
Fuck. Should have seen that shit coming.
There was just too much stuff in it.
Like, okay, so this chicken that we get comes like on a skewer, like on a shish kebab, but it's just chicken, and it's usually like a green color because of the curry that they use. But they have this dipping sauce that you put it in, and it's like a peanut butter sauce. Fucking phenomenal, dude. It's so good.
Peanut butter does not go with chicken.
Bro, trust me. Try it with the curry, and try it with that curry chicken. It's so good, dude. So good.
You know, I'm trying to change my ways, but you don't know how bad. I just want to say I don't like it.
Well, you know, there's gonna be some shit that you're gonna try. You're gonna be like, fuck that. You know, have you ever had pho?
No.
So pho is this bowl, right? And they bring you out this bowl that has noodles in it, and the water is boiling fucking hot. And you can ask them to add meat, and the meat's raw until they put it in the water, and the boiling water cooks it.
That's nasty.
And then they bring it out to your table, and then they give you all the fixins. So you can add it any way you want. You got lemon, you got chili sauce, you got fucking whatever, all the green shit that Asian people
put. I don't like my meat cooked in water. You need to fry it or barbecue it.
You never boiled hot dogs? Thank you. All right, so
not since the invention of the microwave.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, we'll have to figure that one all out and see.
Speaking of tamales,
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it. No, you do you, boo. But your tamales, as much as my family likes them,
Yeah.
they're like, the olive's gotta go.
You guys don't like the olives, huh?
Nobody likes the olive.
Really?
And I've spoken to other people. They're like, olive does not belong in there.
Yeah, they do. It's a staple in most people's family. They'll put olives in them.
I haven't heard one person say that that's a staple.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it all depends on. They must come from the poor parts of Mexico and couldn't afford olives. I'm just fucking kidding. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm fucking 51, and as far back as I can remember, we had fucking olives in our tamales. Always, always, always. But as long as they like the rest, I mean, they could pick out the fucking olives.
Yeah.
Did they like the peanut butter ones?
My son did, my wife and daughter did, and my mother did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did or didn't?
Did.
Yeah, right on. So next year I'm gonna do them again, but I'm gonna add a little vanilla to it to kind of just soften up some of the taste of the masa, give it a little bit better flavor. I might try dipping them in chocolate, like putting what do they call that shit? Ganache. Chocolate ganache?
Yeah.
Or that really soft, dark chocolate. Might try and do it in that instead, and then like take them out of the wrapper and dip them for everybody. Or like they do the chocolate dip strawberries. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go for the fat Mexican girls and chocolate dip tamales. What's up, mija? This is me too, Pac-Man. Was there anything else you want to talk about? We good? You got any?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know how long this will take though.
Oh, you're all right. Go ahead, bring it.
What do you've heard about the Good Morning America anchors that they started having a relationship with each
Yes.
other?
I don't know who they are, but yes, I remember hearing
TJ
about
Holmes and I don't know what old girl's name is.
Okay.
And apparently he's got a 10-year-old daughter with his wife. who they're divorcing now, obviously.
Right.
And they're putting a lot of PDA on show.
Okay.
To where like magazines are showing them in Miami making out here and there, and all over the globe making out. So the soon-to-be ex-wife is saying, that shit ain't right. You got a daughter. You got to be thinking 10-year-old daughter. We're officially not even divorced. We're going, and you're putting all this on display like that.
Well, maybe, baby, had you lit your fire and been giving me that PDA all over the world, I wouldn't be with this girl right here. Just saying.
So my question to you is, which kind of sounds like we know how it's going, is do you think that's right? Now let's take it as it's being put in the media.
Right.
He cheated on his wife. She cheated on her husband, and simply because they just work together, they've been put on assignments, together, and it just happened.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot.
Yeah,
that happens more often than not.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Right.
But I can understand why it happened. But now that it's out in the forefront,
Yeah.
should they be flaunting it as they are, considering they have children?
Well, let me ask you a question. Are they flaunting it, or is just that the media's all over it?
The media is all over it. And why? But why is the media all over it? Because they are given the opportunity to catch something like that.
Right. And all the drama
and
that
they're
goes
saying,
along with it. And,
I'm assuming, I don't know, they're just saying it's not our fault that they're taking pictures of us while we're with each other and expressing our feelings for each other. It's not our fault. We're not going to stop. And I get it. But in regards to him, because the ex-wife is saying this ain't cool. Our 10-year-old is seeing this in the papers and on TV. He should be holding back. He should be keeping that behind closed doors. The wound is still fresh.
So how long does he hold back? Until the divorce is final?
At least until the divorce is final, I would think.
What's the difference?
A 10-year-old's perspective?
What's the difference between the divorce being final and not? Because the damage comes from daddy not being around anymore and he's with somebody else.
While he's still married to mommy.
I don't think that plays that big of a.
So you don't think the fact that you're married is
I probably agree with you in saying that he shouldn't be doing it for the sake of the little girl, because that's going to have an impact on her relationship with him, her relationship with the new boo, and her relationship with her mother, because her mother allowed it to happen and her mother couldn't keep her dad, because we don't know if there was other things going on in that home that allowed that temptation to crawl in.
Yeah, well, they're saying they were separating already type deal. Maybe the wife already knew what was going on, but because they got caught, now it's that throws a monkey wrench in it.
Got it. I would assume. Yeah, I think he should cool it down for the little girl.
Okay, now the only reason I'm mentioning this.
Why, you got pictures of me doing what?
No, there's a new story. Well, it's true, but it's a story that came out. He used to mess around with Chili from TLC.
Really?
Yeah, he's a player.
Oh, shit.
I was like, what?
Then I say to his old lady, look, you know what you married?
I was like, he used to date Chili from TLC?
You know that she's dating the dude from A Boy Meets World or some shit now, right?
No, I
don't know who the kid is, but...
Boy Meets World?
Yeah. Well, that's how long ago that was. That was at least 30 years ago. We're in our 50s. It had to be longer than that, probably. That shit was playing when we were in high school.
Yeah.
So that would put him at about the right age. He might be like 2-3 years younger than her.
I don't know. But like I said, when I saw that, I was like, wow, look at him. No wonder.
But you would think that somebody like that is in that public limelight and that has probably covered numerous stories and read numerous books about all these kind of things and the effects that these kind of things can have on a child, you would assume that he would be able to, or at least has attempted to have some sort of conversation with his daughter. Not to say that that would take away any of the pain or embarrassment that she may feel or anger, whatever the case may be, right? But I still think if there's that much limelight on it, and the question is it affecting her mom or is it affecting the daughter? And here's my question at that point. If the daughter's cool with it, right? Like if you're talking to, hey, well, you know that I'm with so and so now, like blah blah. We really care for each other, blah blah blah. Does that bother you? Do you have any questions? What can we do to help in the transition? Whatever the case may be, however they're going to approach it, right? And the little girl says, no, I love her. Like, it's great. I'm glad. I'm happy for you, whatever, whatnot. And it comes out that it's the mom's issue. That the mom wants you to stop because it's embarrassing her. Then what?
Then the mother should grow a pair.
Wow, look what the cat drug in.
Look who's here.
What's up, Sonny boy?
What's up?
How was work?
Good.
So you're saying that the mom...
I'm not gonna lie, I walked up and I heard and the mother said whatever you said last, and I was like, then the mother should grow a pair.
So he's talking about the people that were on GMA. Who are they?
I just know his name is TJ Holmes.
And we don't know the chick's name.
I know a TJ. Does that help?
Yeah. So they got together. Those two co-hosts got together, but he was married and has a kid with somebody, a little girl with somebody. And but they were already separating when they found out that...
You don't know that.
I thought that's what you just said.
I said it's a possibility.
This motherfucker.
Well, there goes any understanding I could have had of the story. Thanks,
All right.
Tony.
So, okay, so... Anyways...
You gotta remember, she was married too.
Oh, but it's not affecting her kids, right?
All right, well, I've had enough. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking confused. Go ahead. You tell the story.
That's even worse.
Have you... These two anchors on Good Morning America...
Okay, not metal anchors. Got it.
They found out that they were having an affair, and they were both married
Okay.
to other people.
Naturally, that's how affairs work.
So they are separating from their husbands and wives.
Uh-huh.
And we're just talking about the guy for now.
Okay.
He's got a 10-year-old daughter. And because it's such a juicy news story, that paparazzi are like taking pictures of them holding hands in a park, making out at restaurants, stuff like that. So the wife of the dude, or soon to be ex-wife of the dude, is saying, you really should chill out on this stuff because we're technically still married. We're going through a divorce, but we're still married, and your 10-year-old daughter's seeing all this on the news. So is that... Because your dad's like, hey, technically it's over, so they can do whatever they want.
Did they sign the papers? Was somebody served?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Then it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
So he should cool it down, is what you're saying.
At the same time, he cheated.
Obviously, he didn't care.
Yeah.
Anything was signed. Here's a question. Is New York an at-fault state?
To Google. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
So, like, here in California...
Wait, isn't that for employment?
What? No.
At will.
So, in California, if you get a divorce, it doesn't matter why or who. Whatever the issue was. So, like, let's say your wife wanted a divorce and you guys separated. It doesn't matter if it was because she was with someone else or whatever. However, if your wife got pregnant by the other guy while you guys were still married, she gets nothing. So I wonder if in New York, because that's where they're at, if they said, all right,
Does this help? In New York, a marriage can end through an annulment, legal separation, or a divorce. Oh, a no-fault state. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
New York has been a no-fault state since 2010.
So he's fine. Doesn't matter.
He's fine in what way?
Well, he's legally, so like she can't go after him for extra money. He doesn't lose anything extra because there's no fault on his side.
See, you selfish.
Why?
You act like you didn't know this before
You just
stepping
worried
into
about
this
the
room.
money. I was talking about the little 10-year-old.
Oh, he don't give a fuck about no
Well,
kids.
that way he can lavish the 10-year-old with other gifts until she becomes happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at the whole picture.
I'm over here talking about should he chill out because of the little girl. You're like, shit, if it's a no fault, he's cool. He can do whatever he wants.
No, I already answered that. I said, hey, look, I said if he's had a conversation with her, which I'm assuming because of what he does and who he is, that he would have had a conversation with her, and she's cool with it, fuck whatever the mom's saying. You know what I'm saying?
That's the mother of your child. Why are you saying that?
Well, because he deserves to be happy too. Like, you know what I mean? If he wasn't happy there and he had to leave to go be happy somewhere else,
No, that's not necessarily the case.
how is that not the case?
It
Why
just-
else would he cheat?
Because they were in a whirlwind situations. You know, they went and covered the Queen's Jubilee, for example. Good Morning
I think you mean
America sent them
funeral.
out there. You know, they're at the 5-star hotels. You know, away from everybody.
Had a few too many drinks.
Yeah, you see
and
what
then
I'm
got
saying?
5 stars deep.
Yeah.
I just got home from work.
He roped
Now
with
is
her
the-
all fucking night.
Now is the best time for me to do an episode.
So I'm not saying it's right, but you know it happens. So they're just like, oh, well, let's see, you know, where
Let's
we
see
get
how
sent to next.
let's see how green the grass is on the other side.
Flipped
or
it over and
blonde.
smacked her on the ass and rode it home. Yeah.
That's one for Danny. He's going to appreciate that one because nobody else heard it.
Right? I think he, you know, I don't know. I struggle with this because I think that, you know, he needs to be, if he's going to do it, then he needs to be happy. So does the mother, and she needs to not worry about what's going on. But the main focus has got to be that little girl because that,
Well, now it does.
Yeah.
because that's where they, you know,
because his money's straight. Now we can stick it.
absolutely. Well, because he's going to need to have money to make sure that the little girl's safe and that she's, you know what I mean, has all the things that she needs. And not to mention, let's say he's together with that other chick and it was an at-fault state and she was able to take more money. Now he can't continue to do the kind of shit he was doing with the new one because now his money got to go
new
there.
one.
She's going to be like,
Wife
fuck
2.0.
that. Yeah, wife 2.0. She could be like, nah, I can't. You know, I'm not here to support you. I can't help you pay all your shit and my shit.
You know, the woman, you know who her husband is? Andrew Shue. His sister's Elizabeth Shue, I think, the
Oh.
actress. Well, he's an actor too. He was on Melrose Place.
No idea who he is.
You never watched Melrose Place?
No. You watch Melrose Place?
I think I watched a couple, like maybe the
Don't
first
fucking
season.
lie. You watch every fucking episode. you probably still got that shit on your fucking DVR
VHS.
Even worse. Holy shit.
with the tabs broken out so nobody could erase that shit. I
But
know
no,
who you are.
he's an actor. So yeah.
I don't know, Tony. I'm gonna leave this one up to you. Is he right or wrong?
Well, in regards to the little girl, he's wrong. Yeah, you can't be flaunting it like that.
but in
But-
regards to anything else, because you said about the kid, was he right?
Well, who right?
The father, the husband.
For messing around on his wife?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. You just said in regards to the child. I figured that you had other thoughts for other regards.
No, he shouldn't have done it. He should be faithful.
If the fire's lit, the fire's lit. bro.
That
You
man
can't
a
do nothing
hoe.
about it.
No.
You can't choose who you fall in love with. Sometimes it just happens.
You know who you can choose? Your friends.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know, it's gone.
Totally fucking escaped me. But
Escape.
so I'm gonna keep throwing words out there until I remember what I said. Until I was okay. So it should be. I know what I was gonna say. Is he really throwing it out there again, or is it just because it's a hot story in the media coverage?
Okay,
no.
Let me put it
Is
this
who
way.
throwing what
Okay,
out?
you're with this new woman. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Ooh,
you're
he's
with
excited now.
her. Okay,
What's she look like?
if you're going out places,
Right?
What kind of places?
dinner, lunch, strolls through the park,
Breakfast? At Tiffany's?
breakfast. You're on fire, kid.
Were you cooking tonight?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. It's fucking all the heat and the sweat, and he's winding down right now. So we're catching the end of it.
You know people are gonna be taking pictures of you.
You know, Tony,
That's the
people
point.
take pictures of me all the fucking time, anyways. So it's like, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad he said it, cause I was gonna fucking throw one, like it was hot.
All right, Sebastian came to fucking fight tonight. He chose violence up in his bitch.
So again, if you know that's gonna happen, so I mean you gotta hold back.
I can't be like this. I keep fucking you up. Oh, this is funny.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe he needs to hold back.
For his daughter's sake?
How you bring that shit up again?
I know his money's right, so we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
especially
here-
coming from you. Hold on a second. Time out. Especially coming from you, Mr. I didn't want to date a woman because I didn't want my kids.
We know he didn't want the kids, but move on.
Right.
I mean, so you should be all on board about, yeah, he needs to be looking out for that little girl.
Well, I mean, he's not me. And if she that fine and she got that, look, mijo, I'm gonna tell you, had there been
Wow, he called me mijo on the show. That's fucking. He's for real now.
had there been a fucking hot chick in my life at that point, I may not have been around as much. But there wasn't anybody there. It was easy for me to say, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna focus on my kids right now.
Yeah, it was your decision.
It was. Well, for the most part, I mean, I wasn't out there spitting game and shit. Like I was hanging out at the house.
Spitting game.
Right? So here's my thought, because they're gonna end up putting that girl in fucking therapy anyways. So what's the difference if it's just therapy because mom and dad broke up, or you throw in him,
Because there's a difference between your parents broke up because your dad cheated, and the other side is your parents broke up because your dad's cheated, and it's all over the newspapers and TV.
All right,
and
hold on.
I'm seeing it all the time.
Hold on. Let's dial that shit back a second. Because
We've been doing that a lot. In the past
because
20
you know
minutes.
what? Earlier we talked about Dana and his wife, and again,
White?
yeah, and everybody pointed at Dana. Oh, he should have done that. Blah 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 blah. When she slapped him first, right?
You know why? Because he's the man.
So we're talking about this dude cheating on his wife. We don't know why he cheated. What if she had done something prior
Exactly.
to make him want to cheat?
We don't know. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be out in the papers. It shouldn't
Hell
be out.
yeah, it should. Especially now, if she can be calling him out for being out with his old lady. Maybe that's the way he defended himself. He's slapping her back with a new chick. Be like, cool, you want to act like that? Check this out. Look at here, look at here. I don't know. You feel bad for the little girl because she's the one that's caught in the middle of all the bullshit. And unfortunately, not a lot of people can keep the kids the focus of that separation and being adults and parents. And, they get lost in the shuffle, dude. And it's sad that that's what happens. But, we're all human and everything gets done a different way. But he got money to put in therapy. I mean, that's the only thing that...
He might not have that money much longer.
Why?
He ain't on GMA no more.
Shit. That fool gonna
He's
get...
toxic now.
No, he's not. He gonna be able to get whatever he want wherever he go.
Yeah, right.
Watch.
Especially if it's owned by a man. Mm-hmm. Oh, you the one banging that anchor chick. Your shit is free today.
Right? Free today. Come back.
The fuck you want? You're the one that's banging the fucking anchor. Get in here.
You going for pasta or what?
A little bit, yeah. I guess. Fucking pastaroni.
Fuck. Any final thoughts, Sebastian?
No, I'm good.
No?
Yeah.
Well, you came in on fire. I thought maybe you were, woo, let's go, let's get it.
No, I'm good. I can go to bed right now.
Tony, any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, no birthday shout-outs, no nothing?
Nothing.
Wow. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love you. Talk to you soon. Peace.